When a spaceship or meteor enters our atmosphere, it becomes a fireball. But that heat doesn't come from friction with the atmosphere like most people think. There's actually something way more interesting going on. It takes so much kinetic energy to get a spacecraft to the moon, and that's why the rockets are so huge. But when you slow down, all that kinetic energy has to go away somewhere, right? You could fire giant rockets to slow you down and shave off some kinetic energy, but you'd also have to carry all that fuel up with you too. That's why spacecraft use the atmosphere as a brake instead. It's a genius way to take all that kinetic energy and just convert it to heat. Here's why friction isn't what's happening. A spacecraft like Orion slams into the atmosphere at 11 kilometers per second. That's something like 40 times faster than a passenger jet. At that velocity, the air in front of the spacecraft can't get out of the way, so it just gets squeezed and compressed really violently. That heat is not from air molecules rubbing against each other. It's because the spacecraft acts like a giant piston, compressing the air into this impossibly thin layer. And when you compress a gas, it heats up. The air gets so hot, as it gets squeezed, it stops being air and becomes a superheated plasma. It's a whole other state of matter. That plasma can reach 10,000 degrees Celsius, hotter than the surface of the sun. And it works really well. Squishing the atmosphere into a hot plasma removes more than 99.9% of Orion's kinetic energy before it deploys those parachutes. And this is why it's so important that space capsules are the opposite of pointy, because that blunt shape creates a shock wave that's pushed out away from the surface. So almost all of that heat stays out in front of the heat shield and not touching the ship. And the inside of the spacecraft stays a comfortable room temperature. Sharp, streamlined shapes, which works basically everywhere else in aerodynamics, actually makes re-entry worse. And that's why every crewed capsule ever built is shaped like a pudgy little cone.